Thanks for my coffee, Kyle. Did my baby wake up? Emmett, you're great. He looks like a train engineer today. Little outfit. All right, guys, let's jump back in. I want to say a special thank you. Especially, I know I've kind of already highlighted our sound team, but I also want to thank our words team and our tech team as a whole, because on a day like this, we spend a ton of time talking about the stage ministry aspect, the band and the vocals. But we have done, and these guys have been committed, we've done workshops that are just sound stuff. We've done workshops that are just words stuff. But on a day like this, there's a little less for them to have to take in and digest. So it means a lot, and I appreciate you guys being here and being invested and committed, because at the end of the day, it's the whole team. We've said it multiple times, we might have a stellar sound engineer, and if the band isn't tuned and hasn't practiced, we don't have good sound. You can have a fantastic orchestra, and if our sound guys sleep at the board, we don't have good sound. So, we've talked about this with our words before. And we all know what happens from time to time. We're a little behind, or we've had those weeks where the whole thing blitzed out, and suddenly, mid-second song, there's no words up there, and I'm meanwhile sweating and thinking, oh dear, what do we do now? And our vocals just go on, and the show goes on, so to speak, but it's a very obvious hole when we have those missing parts. So every person, I've said it before, every person on this team is a worship leader. If you don't think that the words are leading worship, just wait till they're not up there. And nobody's singing the words because they're waiting to see what comes next. So we are each one leading very much in the same way in different roles. John?
Would you be able to get like a tablet for like the backups, the chorus guys? They need a tablet.
That's part of it.
No, we don't need a tablet. We'll have words.
No, I'm saying if it went out.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
I mean, I'm not saying,
Yeah.
it would be helpful if
Yeah.
it ever were to happen.
I'm going to tell you what, that would be helpful. Backup idea would be helpful. I'll tell you where we kind of do currently. The more you know the songs, because you listen, every day while you're brushing your teeth, you know the songs, there does come some naturalness to I know what's coming up. So that happens. Plus, you guys have heard me. Who remembers Bill Gaither? Like back in the day? Love the Gaithers. And Doug Oldham was somehow connected with him, brother, or one of the vocals in the Gaither trio, I think, Gloria, Bill, and Doug Oldham. And I'm telling you, if anybody spoke words, it was Doug Oldham. He would speak the line and then sing it. So I've pulled the Doug Oldham multiple times when the lights go out. When the words go out, I'm like, well, I'll call it out, you know what I mean? Like, try to be aware, hey, if I see something funky, just because it's up there wrong doesn't mean it's up here wrong. Sometimes we have like that, we get connected to it, but so it's just kind of soaking in and knowing, but some type of backup isn't a bad idea. Pam?
Perhaps most people have their phones, and if most people are going to have the app on their phone, that could be a potential backup if something happens.
Yep.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I feel like the backup idea is a thing. In the how many years have we been here as a church? 15 years. We've been 8 years in this building, 9, 10 years in this building. It's literally been a handful of times. You know what I mean? It's such a rare thing, but anyway. All right, guys, let's talk a little bit about housekeeping. All right, for lack of a better term, that's what I call it, housekeeping. Nuts and bolts. Could I ask Kara if you would help me out here and just take like half to that section and half to that section. Tom, would you help me? And just everybody grab one. This is stuff some of you already know. Some of you need a reminder on. But it's just one more paper for you, okay? I want to talk about all teams right now. All teams. Band, vocals, all vocals, tech team, sound and words, okay? All teams. Communication is the key. I feel like that should be like something. Communication is the key. We just talked through Planning Center and how a lot of the notifications and the reminders and the schedules and those things would be there. Communication. We can all probably do a better job. We can all do a better job. I'm going to tell you something that happened this week, and I'm going to use our words team as a example. Scott LeBeau, scheduled for this weekend, realized he had a conflict, couldn't make it Thursday night because it would have been practice. So what does Alex do? Hey gang, Scott has a conflict. He copied everybody on the words team. Send to all. Bob Mousley replied, or Miss Hyde says him. Hey, I can cover blah, blah. Reply to all. Oh man, my light just went out.
Your lights went out.
No, wait, that's back on. It's okay, it's back on. I don't know what that means. Thanks though. He replied to all, hey, I can cover. Okay? In that, what happens is everybody is in the loop. Granted, it can feel like it's clogging up your inbox, but it was more valuable that, hold on, here it goes. Come Thursday night, I knew I was going to have a sound guide, or a words guide, you know what I mean? Instead of, it goes to one person, there's a back and forth between them, I'm out of the loop, because as a words team and sound team, you're getting the same charts, you're getting the information, so that we know we're all in the loop. There's nothing like that sense of, I've got everybody. Everyone knows, everyone's received it, okay? So that kind of communication is necessary across the board. Now, it's rare that it doesn't happen in the same way with our band. If suddenly Drew falls down a flight of stairs and can't play the drums, God knew he wasn't scheduled, but let's say he was, and he was terribly wounded and injured in the hospital, he is not going to reach out to another drummer. He's going to be like, wow, for everyone. He will contact me and say, Dana, I fell on a flight of stairs. And then we're going to go from there. Vocals do the same thing. We don't generally have that, But if there's something, especially on our tech teams, communicate as a group and communicate with me, okay? I want to mention there is a possibility that emails that come from Dana Ott at Hope Christian Fellowship might end up in your spam. I don't know, because you know how you get an organization and suddenly, now hopefully, especially with y'all sitting here, your computer should know me. I don't think that necessarily, but I know it can happen. So keeping your head above water, knowing where you're scheduled, what's up. If you're scheduled, and you're scheduled, and Thursday has come and gone, and there's no cheat chart, and Monday came and went, and you never got a chord chart, you might want to reach out. Hey, Dana, or I never got an email. You know what I mean? Like that. That's how we all work together. Because good grief, I have certainly overlooked. I've sent to Ryan Wenstall, thinking I'm sending to Ryan Herrero, and then I get back, Ryan Wenstall, oh no, I don't play the bass. Ryan. I used to do it with Bob Baumeister, Rob Baumeister, Robert Baumeister, and Robert. They were both Robert.
They have the same name.
Here's the thing, Rob, the son, didn't even go to our church, and he'd be getting an email, Bob would be like, oh yeah, I got that from Rob, he said something, I was like, oh, here. So, it happens, I hit it, Rob, so pay attention when you know you're on, communicate with one another, communicate with me, okay? That's communication, all teams, second thing for all teams, please use the resources for preparation. Like I said before, we are going to continue to use Spotify. We are going to continue to use YouTube. I will not ask you to raise your hands and tell me, are you listening? or are you a subscriber? But I will strongly encourage you, subscribe to the YouTube HCF Music account. Subscribe. It will show up then. You don't have to run down the dates. If you type in HCF space music, all in caps, you will get multiple things back. Eventually you'll find the one that's got the, you know, the black icon with the orange letters, you know, says Hope Christian Fellowship. I don't want you to have to search weekly. Subscribe to the YouTube HCF Music Caps account. You'll have the songs right there. We load them up way in advance, usually for the whole quarter. You can start listening, okay? If you are a Spotify user, or you prefer that, I'll be honest, I wrote it down there. I don't know what happened, because we have a family account with the church, we have multiple accounts. I don't know if there was I accessed maybe through my Facebook account, but it's got my down picture with me and Mark at the shore as the little, as the little icon, and it said Dana Ott. And then I went back in and was trying to make changes, and it now currently says HCF Music, lowercase, all one word. But it still has my damn picture up there instead of the Hope icon. So either search Dana Ott or HCF Music, one word. If you can't find it on Spotify, I use Matt Russell and Dylan Ott as examples because I know they're both people. I don't know everybody, but I know they're both people who follow HCF Music. When I went to search it, I was like, Dylan, he doesn't follow it? And then I saw my name, and that's how I found out it had suddenly changed to my name. Regardless, Dana Ott, HCF Music. That's our account. All our songs are listed by date. Literally, brush your teeth, blow dry your hair, you've listened to 20 minutes of music. I'm telling you, I brush my teeth. Sometimes I do 2 cycles on that. Okay? Ryan, you might have to add something else. Shave or shower. Okay? So use those. Please use those resources. That is on purpose that we do that. It's not, you know, I mean, honestly, Emily uploads for me at times, I upload. I do that because I want to listen to them, but also I'm doing that to go, how can we better familiarize ourselves with these songs, okay? And plus, they're good songs. All right, so use them. The blog spot. If you are not using the blog spot and relying on an email or a schedule or a text, currently use the blog spot, hcfmusic.blogspot.com. Favorite it. Put it on your computer. We don't have an app, so if you use your phone, scroll to the bottom and hit view web version, and you'll be able to see a little better. It'll just be tiny. You can open things up, okay? Everything is on there. Refer to the blog spot for the most updated information. That has happened, and we all do it because it's natural, but we've had a change, or we've had somebody didn't realize it was Thursday night practice, and then suddenly we don't have a sound guy, or, okay, we've bumped practice a half an hour, we've bumped practice to, you know, morning once in a while because we had an event that collided and was last minute and we had to make a change, okay? Those things are updated on the blog spot. Of course, last minute things, we're always going to shoot you a text or shoot you an email, which is why you got to check your email, okay? Use the blog spot. The worship online tutorials, band and lead vocals. Use the tutorials. Use the tutorials. Okay? Use the tutorials. For your part, use the tutorials. Please use the tutorials. Okay? On song charts, the chord charts that I send out, use the charts. Do not use CCLI charts. Here's a great thing you can do, especially guitar players and like bass guys. It comes out in like sometimes 4 pages because I'm just scrolling on a pad and it's very easy to go like that. You guys are like, good grief, this song is enormous. Cut it. Cut your page in half. Rarely do they fill out a full page. Make yourself a way to get your music in front of you in 2 pages or less. I've seen Dylan stuff. He'll take a last course, he'll chop it off, just a little square of the last page, he'll put it onto this page here, draw himself an arrow, he knows where he's going. Okay? Please don't use the CCLI charts. Use the on-song charts. Okay? If that's a struggle or you have a reason that that's difficult for you, let me know and we will figure it out. okay? But the on-song charts are the map, the correct chords. Oftentimes we change, we don't like a suspended chord in there, we don't use it, or there are things in there that are different nuances. That's why as musicians, I'm asking you to use those charts, okay? Respond promptly to requests for availability. Some of this stuff is going to be phasing out, even some of what we just said, eventually. Not now. Not now and not for the foreseeable, probably 6 months. So please get on board with this. Availability requests are literally my arch nemesis. It is hard sometimes to move forward. I'm at a real standstill when I have not heard back from you. Literally, if you say, Dana, I can't get you my dates, I'm super busy, I will get them to you, XYZ. At least I've heard from you, okay? At least I've heard from you. If you know that you can't get your head around your dates because you have a nutty quarter in your life, in 3 months, Dana, I need to step back 1 quarter. That's fine. None of that is an issue, okay? But responding to let me know your availability, I really, really would appreciate that. And many of you guys do a fantastic job. It's just once in a while that we have those like, oh, I'm just waiting, to get the last minute. So, and I'm just gonna say it, some of the worst offenders, the last names are Ott. So, they live in my own house and I have to spell it. So, you're in good company. They're all people that I love dearly. So, you're in good company. But let's do that. Now, again, this is going to be phasing out as we really get on board and catch our stride with Planning Center. You will go in and say, can't sing, can't sing, can't sing, can't sing. I know what I have in the next 4, I'm back with the kids, and I guess that's going to show up. That'll help us. I'm on vacation. Boom. And then I'm going to still say to you, I need your date by, usually it's somewhere in the 2nd or 3rd week of the new quarter. Okay? So you'll still get if you haven't blocked your dates, I'm going to start scheduling you. And then you're going to get an actual, here's your dates to accept or decline. Okay? But I would just love if we would take one more big step in responding on them. Okay? That's kind of everyone across the board. Same thing for sound guys. I know Eric, Alex, these guys are waiting to get schedules together until they hear from you. So help them out that way. Okay? Sound team, specifically for you guys. Let's continue doing these things that you're already doing, arriving early to turn things on. Okay? Stage lights, amps there behind the curtain. There's the other box there that's some kind of noise buster. I don't know what it is. There's something there. The power strip, the power conditioner, I think it is. All right, soundboard, right? Do that stuff. Oftentimes, sometimes we can sit back in it because we're like, oh, I got there and it was on. Good. That's a bonus. Sometimes Mark and I are here early because I love this place and I just love to be here, especially when I can get here early and run through stuff on my own. So as long as we're here and we've turned it on. But that's a bonus, okay? We don't want to count on that. We want you guys to be here to continue to do that. I would also say as you're getting in, schedules, I've put them up. I try to get them turned over as soon as I can. Singers are up there, song sets are up there, words team is up there, and sound schedules up there on the back bulletin board, okay? When you get here, and sometimes there are, and in fact I'm going to pick on Dave for a second because he did a great job. He came in one day telling me, I know we got like these 2 new songs. I was like, awesome, you have that all in your head? And he's like, and that's not, wait, I didn't think Carol was on. I thought it was, and we're like, yeah, she actually stepped in for somebody. So Dave came in with prior knowledge before he showed up here in the building, knowing what to expect for his team. That's huge. You guys, that just literally like warms my heart, feeling we're working as a team here. So I have, so thank you, Dave. I mention Dave often. He is not the only guy that does this. This just happened to be the last time around. So you guys, but knowing who's on, getting here, using the magnets, labeling our vocalists, labeling our, you guys going, I know who's who, so that when they get in and start warming up, I've already, paid attention on that stuff, okay? So you guys are doing good with that. Come up, confirm with the band, confirm the schedule. Is everything as is? Yes, good to go. Okay, during the rehearsal, you guys are doing this more, and we probably could still take a better even approach, but get out of the booth. Get out of the booth. Take your meter, and the meter is not the end all be all, but it helps us get a feel for the room. And then it's not static. On a Sunday morning, there's more people at the 9, so we might boost more in the room, right? There's less people at the 11. We're bouncing out a bit, but so we're watching for that. We got soloists who are maybe further off their mic. We're paying attention. It's a constantly moving thing, but come out, listen to the room, walk around the room, be kind of aware. Monitors, how's everybody doing? Was everyone working well? What's happening? Kind of just staying ahead of the curve on the things that we can with sound, okay? I would say for sound team, this kind of is for words team as well. I send the cheat charts to everybody who's on, tech and stage, everybody. Review that. Take a look at it. Yep, those are the songs, because I've been listening to my YouTube songs. Yep, got that. Okay, we got solos here and here. Okay, you come in with a background of what's going to happen, anticipating what's happening when we get to rehearsal, all right? And believe me, we have weeks that are not good. They're not great. We get overwhelmed. Things are happening. We're down, and we're just grateful to God that we made it there on a Saturday night. So I know that happens too. And so those are the days. There's grace for that. But on the whole, that's the intention, that you guys would have the opportunity to know what's happening just as much as the band. Okay. And then this is one more thing for everybody in the tech booth. That booth is kind of chaos right now, and not to anybody's particular fault. But let's do our best to keep it cleaned up. I know there's a trash can back there. When we finish a set on a Sunday and you're leaving, throw all the charts away from that day. We're not going to use them, throw them away. Watch your coffee cups. This is nobody's fault in the booth. But this last Tuesday or Thursday, Emily and I were here, and we were getting some things in there, and there was communion from Sunday. And there was mold on the juice. And it was so gross. It was floating in the top. I was like, ah! So that, it's not like you guys need to be responsible to throw out what's left, but it was just like, oh dear, it just was like, oh yes, we don't have a housekeeper that's coming in and taking care. So I would say there's a little method to madness back there, but there's some chaos too. So I would say anytime you all have authority to clean up any section, organize, you can do that. If you're like, I can't stand this, and I got band sounding good, everything's hot and running, I'm going to turn around here, and this drawer is a disaster, I'm going to label it what I just did here. You can do that. Nobody's in authority over you, okay? Feel free to do it. CDs, extra things like that, probably I just need like a day, and I probably just need to get in there and deal with like what is all this and what is all this and what is all this and organize. But I'm just saying, just as far as like what it is right now, let's keep it at least that and more organized, not more cluttered. Okay, so just watch the booth back there. All right, words team. Remember, words team, to use the cheat chart for the flow, for the order, and use the lyric sheets, not the lyrics printed on the back of Mark's notes. Okay? I know we've talked about that before too. You guys can pass this on for Scott and Bob. Those will never be right. Those are kind of like what we talk about when we talk about the band playing with CCLI charts. They are just what pops out kind of, default mode. Okay, that's not what we do. So if you're using that to create slides, we'll be wrong, and you guys know that. So just a reminder of that. That binder back there, I'm wondering if we need a 3-hole punch in the booth, because sometimes I make up those charts and then I just slide in the new ones. So we need one. All right, I'm going to make a note of that. Can my assistant write that down? Would you just write Dana 301? Thank you. I'm just kidding. She's not my assistant. But we'll get one. And that way then the new songs coming in, you guys can slide right into the books. Some of these are old. Some of these are from years ago before we had this kind of a system. So they don't all say it, but the new ones I'm writing, verse 1, chorus, verse 2, bridge, I'm writing those across the top to help us. I know you guys, I don't understand ProPresenter. You guys are professionals. You pull in these songs, sometimes they're right, sometimes they're not right. We have to create things. We have to create blank screens. There's a lot of things you guys are doing on there that, my hat's off because I don't know how you do it. But let's just stay on top of those. Let me know when you run into issues. We've been doing a good job on the communication there. But you know, I also thought maybe that binder, maybe we need to re-alphabetize. I don't know, like I don't know where we're at. So
that binder somehow fell down and
went to pieces. Okay, so that might be a task we can, all right.
one of these days I'm going to rearrange it. So.
Rearrange or organize. Okay, so just kind of keep that just for you guys back there. But I know that would help. And often, if my understanding is right, we have songs in. They're in. I know sometimes they disappear, which is strange. We've heard this before, but they're there. And so every week, you guys on Words are not pulling out the binder and you've got things in there. So if that's moving forward. So thank you for that. So even with that, like using the motion backgrounds, use new backgrounds. There's a bank of stuff in there. You can pull out, again, you are all commissioned to do what you want to do on your Sundays. There, you can use new backgrounds. For the countdown things, roll in new stuff. If you know, we don't want to use the same thing. You know the questionnaires we have that are funny, like the little trivia things. Great, but don't use it 2 weeks in a row. You know what I mean? Like pay attention a little bit on that. Now I have a question. Can we keep track of what countdowns? What countdowns were used from week to week? Is that in a?
They're in the list for each Sunday.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say you're on, the following week Pam's on, she would know what countdown was used the week before?
I can go back and look at the previous weeks. If
Good.
I don't remember which,
Good.
there's no way I would remember from
Right.
week to church week.
Right.
I can go back and look.
Okay, so let's just stay on top of that. You guys are doing a good job on it, but I think, you know, even using, you know, I like the motion backgrounds, I just do. That's just a preference of mine, but when you guys are using them, there are some that we ordered, I think we've plopped them in there, and they are coordinated, but they're a little different. So you could use a coordinated feel, but each song has its own background. So that's kind of a cool thing that is a subtle thing that you don't always notice, but then you wonder why it felt like so good. You know what I mean? So using those things for you guys. Watching the phrasing, Words team, we've talked about this a little bit. Watching the phrasing, watching where something, oh, that line would be better on the next slide. That's the beginning of a new phrase. It's the beginning of a new whatever. Watch those things. You guys, again, you are authorized to make those changes. You don't, it doesn't look right. Sometimes we think it's a certain way, but it's because we have a different screen. You're like, no, we like it how this works here. So, you know, listening to the songs, knowing the songs, that will help you know how those kind of natural phrases go. So Words team, I encourage you just as much as anyone else to listen to the songs. Know what is coming, okay? Even knowing what's coming, let's do what we can on the paying attention to know. I know we talked about it, you guys hit it, but then there's still a little delay. There's still a little thing in there. So you guys are paying attention to be ahead of the curve. We're finishing the last word, we'll move it to the next slide. So watching for that. Things once in a while we'll catch a typo. We'll catch like a lowercase thing. Remember the one that had like multiple lowercase for I think it was I believe, or whatever, it was like lowercase I. We just randomly, we're like, wait, we should have an uppercase I. It's a, you know, pronoun. And so we can sometimes see things. You know how you can write something, but then somebody else proofs it for you? It's just different. You got a different set of eyes. So humbly and gently and with grace, we can help one another on those things. So vocalists or bands, when you see something, hey, let's check blah, 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 and we'll get it fixed. Okay? So just staying up on top of those things for the Words team. Okay? Words or sound, anything in there that I said that sounded weird, or that you're like, what about this? Or I wish you would have said this to the team. Good, you guys are professionals. All right, band and vocalists, a couple of things for you guys. Same as what I said to the booth back there, let's keep the stage more tight. We can do a better job of keeping things uncluttered. I used to hear, we need a trash can on stage. And then we got a trash can on stage, and there's trash all over the stage. So I'm saying the trash can on the stage was good, but it's kind of like planning center. You got to use the trash can. It's a good thing, but you got to use it. Okay. So Emily does a great job every Thursday. She comes in, she sets up, she kind of organizes, she restocks our waters, and hopefully they're not frozen blocks like they were so strange on our fridge. So she worked on that, got that going, we got it set. You know, reorganize the snacks. We have snacks and water. Everybody who has not known that, snacks and water behind that curtain. But I find empty bottled waters. I find multiple things that are on the stage. Now, we don't have to be pigs. We can clean up. So if you have something, please put your stuff in the trash. We can keep the stage cleaner. We don't really, even though she's organizing and preparing, she's not a housekeeper, okay? And our janitors don't clean our stage. So we just gotta, like, grow up, throw our stuff away, okay? Trash cans right there behind that curtain, all right? On Sunday mornings, on the stage, did you guys have something to say?
Well, you might be answering
Yeah.
right now.
Well, go ahead and then I'll...
I was just gonna ask, during services, like, do you prefer that we take our water bottle off with us?
Girl, you're absolutely right. I am going to talk about that. I'm going to come back to that one, okay? I will talk about that. But I'm gonna go with this one, okay? For practices, the stools that we have out, we can use for practice. You know what we use them for? Water, coffee, like this. You know, sometimes we sit. We had a really long week, whatever. Somebody's whatever they want to sit. Fine. Sunday mornings, we're not going to use stools. We're not going to use any stools on the stage. Okay? Stools are gone. Bye-bye. No more stools on the stage. For the band, you guys don't get to have a sip of water. Sorry. You don't get to. You don't have a stool. Oh, that's called a throne. Let's keep one thing straight. It's called a throne. I did say no thrones. No stools. Okay. Clutter. I just want to clean up the clutter. Okay. We're gonna a little more. They will look nicer. So we're gonna get rid of stools. Practice, I don't care. All right. Right now, that chair that's out. I think it's because somebody was. I don't remember why we had that one out, but that will go behind the curtain on Sunday. Okay. Let's talk about curtain. Let's talk about curtain. Actually, let me talk about the waters again. You see the swirly giggers? Where are they? There's none out. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
We got those things that go, and then they go like this, and they actually attach to the front two mics, and they attach to that. They'll attach to anything, but those are the ones that generally use it. You can keep those up, put whatever you want in them on a practice. On a Sunday morning, please limit it to a bottled water, okay? I don't really want to see your, Starbucks, whatever, milk latte. I just don't. I'm not trying to be snotty. I just don't. I don't think we need it. Okay. So a bottled water. I fully understand. There have been multiple times I thought, I see this cup of water. I'm dying. We need it. That's okay. But a bottled water. Okay. Band. You guys, obviously, if you're playing bass and you have a water on the amp or something, that's fine. Okay. What was I going to say? Choir vocals. We will probably not have a place for you to put a water, okay? One positive is we're not requiring you to be ready and fresh to sing into your mic at every phrase. So you got a little leeway, all right? If you're having a day and you want a bottle of water, you can have water. This is not Nazi. But I'm just saying we're trying to keep it up. The other thing about the bottled waters, and I'm going to talk about something else. When we walk off the stage following a set, take your water. Don't leave your stuff on stage. If you have a bottled water, take it off the stage when we finish the set, okay? I know that's so random, but it's one of those things that it just clutters and we don't need more distraction. I think I told you guys about when we used to have, what did we used to have sitting in here, that green box? The shaker box. And somebody said to me, every time I see that green box, all I can think about is Girl Scout cookies. And I'm like, oh my word. She was so distracted by the green box, so we got a little basket. We got a basket so that we can say, we can work as a team, we can serve the church, we can get a basket so you don't think 10 minutes the whole service. But the things we can do, sometimes something as dumb as a bottle of water can be a distraction. Okay? So take it off when you go. Do whatever you want at rehearsal. I don't care. But on Sunday mornings, bottled waters, use the cup, the swirly gigs, and then take your water when you go. Second distraction that I'm going to discuss, the curtain. Right now. The curtain. It was funny because once we painted, I don't remember what it was, the black, yeah. Suddenly, when that curtain is open, I sit down and Mark starts preaching and I'm like, I can't listen to you at all. All I'm saying is, there's the wreath for Christmas and there's the red, there's the chords. It's such a weird thing, but it looks cluttered and we don't have to do that. So if you are a drummer, you tend to be, not that I would say you're our biggest offenders, but you tend to be the guys who last leave. However, our guitar guys also go back there, they grab their chords, they grab a thing, they turn off a tablet, they're checking. So that side of the stage, we just got to serve one another, be aware of one another, last guy off, pull that curtain. Vocals tend to, on a Sunday morning when we start, sometimes they'll be like, Melissa, grab the curtain, and she's pulling together. We don't go on that side. So, okay, so just watch the curtain, pay attention to that, all right, just kind of the cluttery thing. Vocalists, one more thing that you guys can do, if you can remember, if you have the fans on, turn them off at the end of your set. If you don't want to bend over, maybe when Mark's praying, bend over and turn them off. If not, remember to turn them off at the end of Sunday, if you can remember. It's okay, but sometimes I'll come up and be like, the fans are still on. We just don't need them running until the next Saturday morning, you know what I mean? I think they may get turned off when we hit all the power clips, yeah? Or no? I don't know if they do or not, so I think that's what, I was in here one day and I was like, what am I hearing? It was that. So if you can remember, turn off the fans. This side of the stage as well, turn off the fans if you can remember that. That's not a sight thing, it's just more of an electricity thing. Band, those of you guys who use stands. Kylie uses a iPad. Tanner uses whatever's up here, depending on what that is on any given day. That was rough. But our other instrumentalists, our other guys, our bass, Ryan uses the iPad, Matt uses the iPad, but our other players use a stand, okay? Fine, I can use a stand, I'm not pulling those. I think Matt told me in church he was made the vocalists memorize, right? Everybody had to memorize, so they didn't have stands at all. We're not going to do that, but I'm going to ask our band who are using stands, we want your stand as low as you can and still see your music. We're trying to blind you, but this is a bit distracting. And how do you have countenance of worship when we can't even see your face? You can be full in, like, bleeding hearts for Jesus. But we can see you. We want to see you. Your presence on stage is a lot. We've talked about it before. We could use recorded CDs and have spot-on music every time in tempo and no issues. But we're doing it live because we're a church family and we're individuals who are using our gifts to serve one another. So we want to see you, all right? So wherever that comfort level hits you, as players using these stands, find it, but then, we're saying try not to give them up. In addition to that, I know I talked about this mostly affects our paper people. I'm trying to think who else uses the paper copies, but you guys, do what you can to confine your music to a 3-ring binder. If you have a song that is bigger than what you can get on the width of this, and even my binder is sticking out, so I recognize that we have that. What I don't love, because I'm not kidding, these are little housekeeping. I know this is not Spirit of God stuff, but it's housekeeping stuff. When we sit down and I see this sticking out from behind there, I'm gonna run up there and rip it off. Just, okay? So find ways, even if you've got a song and maybe you've got a third page that folds out because it was just big print or whatever. When we finish that song or finish the set, flip your music in or close your binders, okay? Even during worship, I would rather it be a little more organized, okay? And I really do think that guitar, you know, a lot of that stuff is just, we're playing the same thing over and over. So even though I write it in this map with everything in order, you guys can be like, I already know where we're going. I got it across the top. I'm reminding myself I know where we're heading. So make your music not quite so wide, okay? Band gear. Please, band, clear off your equipment at the end of your service, okay? If you are not scheduled for 2 weeks in a row, please remember to take your stuff with you or come back. But prior to the following Saturday rehearsal, if you were our bassist and you left your bass and you served 2 services and you ended up leaving after second set worship and you're like, I'm gonna come back at my bass, no problem. That's never a problem. But don't come back after 5 o'clock rehearsal, because now the next bass is like, oh gosh, I gotta clean up so stuff. All right, let me put this away. And you guys do. You've done it for each other. Zip it up, put it, wherever. But oftentimes there's in-ears that are left up there. There's things that are there, tuners. Sometimes there's things that are there that are your own personal gear. I don't want it to get lost. I don't want it to get misplaced. So please take your gear and your stuff. Even if it's coming back, it doesn't matter to me, as long as it's between then and the next rehearsal. Okay, band, please take your stuff with you. In this side of the curtain, I have cubbies, and those cubbies are for all the band. And I'm gonna make we can maybe reorganize a little bit of that, but I do currently have stuff. So if you have like in-ears, Dustin, I think he left yours here, right? So he uses in-ears. He doesn't use them at home. Well, actually, you're on a home. So he says, I don't need these. After a given Sunday, they don't just hang out back there on the drummer stand. They go into his cubby marked Dustin. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's do what we can on that, especially as a band, all right? To keep your own personal stuff, keep track of it, and don't leave it for the next guy, okay? Lastly, band, turn off your control tablets. You know what I'm talking about. It's how we control our monitors, okay? Our lead vocals do not have their own control as of now. I don't know where we are with that, so we'll see where that goes. But band does. The band can control, and which I think has been a great thing for our sound team, because it helps you guys focus on the house, so we can do this. Turn them off. You got to turn them off, because even though the power strip goes off, they keep going, and then we come into rehearsal the next day and they're dead. So you got to remember it. I know it's dumb, but please remember to turn them off at the end of the set. Even maybe during the prayer, when Mark's praying, turn them off. They're fine for in between, but turn them off week to week. Drew uses a different tablet. So, and I think we have that, we have the tablet that's there, still there. Perfect. So it's there for other drummers to use. The electric is there. Obviously acoustic is here. So if you're on that day, part of your job in housekeeping is turn off those tablets. Okay? Are there other points or input that you're like, oh, I wish you would have said that because so-and-so always does it? Is there any or specific things that you're like, what about this? Can we keep track of? Eric.
Real quick, just talking with the sound team, the discussion comes up during rehearsal a lot of times when you're trying to give instruction to us or you're trying to make comments, the band is still playing, and it's a distraction to the sound guys.
Yes.
Trying to love that you're
Hone
doing
in.
together and stuff like
Right.
that. But for a few minutes at some point, can we just kind of say, hey,
Yep.
we need silence for
Yes.
a moment so we can
Yes.
speak here and there.
Absolutely. Eric, that is a great point. And we will take the the hit for not being as aware of that as we should be. And I always blame it on like guitar players, and like guitar players like they just never pay attention to what else is going on. But it is not just guitar players. Everybody can do it, but it's drummers do it. Drummers. It's just kind of, there's a naturalness to, we've got an instrument in front of us. Sometimes my kids will come in, I'm playing the piano, they want to ask me questions, and I'm like, I have never stopped. I don't stop. I just deal with them while I'm still playing. So it's dumb, but it happens. So we have to rein it in. We have to be. That's how we serve our sound team. That's how we serve our team, and that's part of our call. So we stop. I actually will say this: you guys have blessed me tremendously in how you have graciously spoken to one another as we communicate. I think we can still do an even better job. But how hey, I need this, hey, could you help me? I need a little of that, thank you. Could we get this, please? Like that's, and the same thing back way. You guys using that talkback mic, you've got to use that mic. That helps us know you're communicating with us. So as a group on the stage, we can get quite caught up in our own thing. And we need to be aware of what's happening in the booth and what they need from us, and then what we need from you guys. So yes, let's do a better job of that. And even across the board, I feel like we've moved away from just everyone kind of shouting their needs to, hey, what do you need? Okay, Melissa, you need da-da-da. Okay, can we get this for, Melissa? Can we get this for whatever? So we're going to keep doing that. And yes, let's be aware of that. Thank you. That's a great point. Yeah.
Along with that as well, like coming out of the booth,
Mm-hmm.
the other idea we talked about and how easy it would be, it could be something coming down the road. Saturday rehearsal, a lot of times, you have to be stuck at the board making the adjustments. But moving to a Sunday morning type of thing where maybe we have a floating pad, but we can control, then we can pick up the different sounds.
Yes. Absolutely, and that board, was that the board that has it? We can use exactly, it looks just like the board on an iPad, on a tablet.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a individual thing or if that's a purchase thing that we could do, but yeah, that's absolutely a great next step and probably a good resource and maybe good investment to help our sound guys be able to be like, I'm walking around the room, I can hear this, I can move that. So, yeah, good. Kylie?
Do you still want lead vocals singing solos off camera?
Okay, so we have this now, we'll have this choir, in these days, but there's going to be 3 out of the month we are not going to have the choir. So we're still going to be adjusting a bit, but I would say this, when we have, so this week coming up, Leah and Melissa? There are vocals this week, Kimmy. So we have 3 vocals this week. Leah has a solo. And so when we get to Leah, the other vocals are still singing. We're still singing. It's a little tougher for you because your mic's right here. But what we've tried to do is go, we're singing so that our church knows we're not listening to a solo. There's no show up here to see, right? It's just light the fire and we all go together. That's all. So when our soloist, who's named to sing that line, is in our mic or his mic, the rest of our vocals are singing. Okay, so yeah, let's continue to be aware of that. Now, when we have a choir behind us and we have a solo, we may have to adjust that. I don't really know. I don't know if the vocals being picked up from there. Maybe that's fine. Maybe we can continue to see, maybe we find a way to sing a little more soft, you know what I mean, to support it. But, so we'll have to deal with that later. But yes, currently, I would say every line of songs, unless you're, having a meltdown or, whatever's happening internally, which happens, and sometimes we find ourselves, we just can't almost make the words, sing or mouth the words, be kind of present in that. Okay, so yeah, I would still say we're doing that. Okay, our time is up. Tony.
In the beginning, you said that the choir vocalists are going to have a cheat sheet too, right?
Yes.
How are they going to read it?
So we're going to have to figure some of that out. cheat chart, the cheat chart that comes into your email, you will still be able to access your cheat chart into your email, so you'll be able to see what's what. The big thing that we currently blow up, that's got the big, you know, we kind of just have the little shorthand for a Sunday. We're going to figure out whether or not maybe on the side we would have, you know, what's coming up next. In some ways, I will say this. It will be less imperative that you know, because you're not on the line for leading that line because of a mic. So if we know, we've rehearsed, you've seen the cheat chart, you know it's coming. You know, a lot of times, I'm going to ask you this, by the time you hear an intro of a song, do you usually know what we're singing? Not always, not always. What a Beautiful Name, it's just like a D chord. That could be multiple things, but we often know, now we've heard because we've been listening, we know what's coming, so we'll figure out that. But the thing that has the full cheat chart that comes in the email, all the vocals are still going to continue to get that, so you'll be able to see in preparation. You look like this or something? No?
No, I was just gonna say, well, the words are on the back.
Yep.
So
Yep.
At least you know what the next song is. For me,
Yep.
it's just a question of, is this one, there's a song?
Right. Yep, we're thinking through some of those things. So by the time they do the one slide and it's got the intro part on there, it's just like the blank, but it's got the, you know, the CCLI numbers or whatever. And then by the time it's come up for the people, we've already seen it on the second screen. So we know, oh yeah, that's right, we're singing What a Beautiful Name. Okay? Guys, anything else? How do y'all feel?
Tired.
Awesome? Tired? Thumbs up? Does anybody feel excited? I do too. I really do. I'm tired, not gonna lie. I literally didn't go to sleep till almost 3 a.m. I kept thinking, oh, I should say that. Oh, I should say that too. Like, just think what it is, what it is. But I'm excited. I'm excited, and I'm really looking forward to how God is going to open this up for us. So thank you guys for everybody, each of you. Please go home and love on your kids and your spouse if you have them, and tell them Dana says thanks for loaning you for the day. I know it's a big deal on a Saturday. I really do. It does not go unnoticed. So thank you for that, for your time. Let's have a word of prayer and we'll get out of here, okay? Ryan, I should just have you pray. Ryan, would you close us in prayer? I know you will. Let's pray together.
Father God, we thank you for this day, Father. Thank you for everyone coming out and giving up the time to put back into this ministry, Father. We just thank you for the food that was provided here today, Father, and all the input and everyone's attention and energy to this. We just thank you for how you're growing this ministry, Father, and all of the hearts that you have here, and all of the focus that everyone puts towards it. We just thank you for this day and this weekend, and we look forward to serving together as we go forward in this. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. All right, thanks all. Appreciate it.